Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And gonna go over Raw this week. It was in the ThunderDome. And man, I'm not gonna fucking lie. This was a clusterfuck of an episode of Raw, and this is what fucking is. It's cool at the idea of having show versus show, Raw versus SmackDown and all that shit. But man, it fucking sucks because all the main storylines on the show are all paused so that way they can build up. This show is going to go against this show for supremacy and all that jazz. And well, before we get into that, we're going to switch gears, talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind and the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. Ruby Riott is now on the women's SmackDown team with Bianca Belair, which is cool. Also cool is that Ruby's now went back to the short cut, like went back to the short Heidi Loveless haircut. Really cool. Dig that, you know. I'm not saying I'm not criticizing being one of those dudes like, oh well, you should have your hair short or long or whatever. It's just I'm used to seeing her like that. It was just like, whoa, cool. All right. Also, Seth and Corbin are also on the men's SmackDown. Are also on the men's SmackDown team, and other than that, really. They're building more for Jay being with Roman. Yeah, that's about it. So with that said, let's get into this week's show. Excuse me, don't worry. That's not a Rona cough. It's just the weather's bouncing up and down, so got some phlegm in there. It starts off with Miz TV. Miz and Morrison are hyping up. Well, Miz is hyping up the return of his show, Miz and Mrs., on USA and all that jazz, and then they go and say they got their guest. They're about to introduce their guest, The New Day. When all of a sudden Randy Orton comes out, Randy just looks at them point blank. Whoa. You see, I know what this is all about. You guys are teaming with me tonight. You guys want to do this tag team with me and you two against The New Day and McIntyre. Just because you want this. You want this that bad. You're doing all this crap for that. Well, you know what, Miz? You want it that bad? He puts it down, turns around, drops to his knees. Do it. Do it now. Do it. And then Miz said, oh, you think I would risk hurting what stance I have with the USA Network just to do this? Now, this close to Survivor Series? No, that's not it at all. Then what? What is it? And Miz, oh my God, Randy went on him. He basically just shoved an M80 up Miz's ass and lit the damn fuse and ripped into him on how, he's pretty much gonna have to kill him to get that title. And then he ripped into Johnny Nitro Morrison Mundo Impact, saying, and look at you. What happened with you? You got fired, you went and played in the little leagues, and now you're back here, huh? You think you can sit at the big kids table? And Randy, in all fairness, Randy does have full right to go and make those remarks, because, sit down for a second, kids, you're about to hear Uncle Tim give you a lesson in history. When season 1 of Lucha Underground was going, and Johnny Mundo was doing an interview on it, comparing Lucha Underground to WWE, he said Lucha Underground was filet mignon cooked medium well with and all that jazz, and then compared WWE to ground chuck. Well, you look at where things are now. So you went from working where they're serving filet mignon to now you're back to being that ground chuck. So yeah, you got all right to have that kind of shit thrown at you in my perspective. Fuck. But Randy went ballistic on them, talking about on how he don't care if it's Miz, if it's McIntyre, if it's The Fiend, whoever. Anyone wants that nobody is taking that title off of him. And then out come the New Day, they start poking fun at all three of the dudes. And then they get in the ring. Like, now we're just going to sit here like we were supposed to. So please, y'all three just entertain us. And then Randy, boom, pops an RKO. And then they start beating the crap out of New Day. Out comes McIntyre, starts beating the crap out of Randy. Miz then, wham, slams the briefcase onto the back of McIntyre. And then they pick Drew up, throw him into Randy. Randy pops him with an RKO. And then that's the end of it. And we don't see them guys until the end of the show, at the end of the night, for the 6-man tag, which really just, again, feels like a clusterfuck. Like, well, we don't know what to do with these guys. And we don't know what to do with these guys. So fuck it. Let's put them together and make it a tag. And now we come to the first match of the night. Elias going against Jeff Hardy against Matt Riddle, who is now just known as Riddle, which honestly yeah, it is what it is on that sense. But either way, it's a triple threat match, you know, last chance for who's going to be on the men's Survivor Series team. And it was a slugfest at the start of the match, and then Elias started leading into the break. Jeff was picking up the pace post-break. It was a decent match, you know, it was decent enough, but you know, and I'm not complaining about the ending being predictable, because I normally predict the endings 9 out of 10 times. I got a Rayman. I'm like Rayman with wrestling, you know. You got a fucking autistic, dyslexic brain watching wrestling for forever. Yeah, I see that. I see weird shit when it comes to it. I know shit. But either way, Riddle got the win doing the Bro Derek on Elias. 1, 2, 3. That was it. So, yeah, the obvious choice was Riddle was going to win, because they're going to extend the feud with Jeff and Elias. So, either way, now we come to the next match. Lana going against Shayna Baszler in a squash match. And honestly, the only way this could have been better was if, as Lana was coming down, a priest was coming down giving her last rites. And yeah, because she was like looking all mortified and petrified and scared, like she didn't, like, Whereas Shayna Baszler's just like, well, time to go and put another win on my belt. Oozing confidence, knowing she's about to go and wipe the floor with Lana. And then she gives Lana a straight up ass kicking. And then after she wins doing the choke out, Karabuta clutch. After that they they get ready to go and put Lana through a table. But it stopped, courtesy of Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, who were just so conveniently sitting ringside doing color commentary. They stopped them and they were like, alright, fine. Backstage, you see Lana trying to thank them, and Dana and Mandy were like, whoa, hold. We didn't do it for you. We're mad at you, because if it wasn't for you, we'd be women's tag champs right now. We did this because we need you for the Survivor Series. That's it. So count yourself lucky. Next up, we get an impromptu tag match. Sheamus and Braun versus Riddle and Keith Lee. And this came to be because Uncle Alan, AJ Styles, excuse me, is out there trying to do a team powwow meeting, trying to unite everyone, and it turns into a big clusterfuck. And you know, the commentators are all like, "Oh, this, you know, this shouldn't be like this. You know, the Survivor Series team is supposed to be united like a family shouldn't fight." Okay. Them fuckers obviously never grew up around in an Irish Roman Catholic family, because I did, and what they all consider family what they call family fighting, we called Sunday dinner. That shit was normal for us, fuck. But either way, that led to an impromptu tag match with AJ Styles as the guest referee, and Riddle was the punching bag for the match, you know. Braun and Sheamus were pretty much beating the shit out of Matt. AJ took 2 ref bumps, surprisingly. One back to back, and there were knee strikes from Riddle. And when that happened, Sheamus wound up going for the cover, like, hey, what's the matter with you? You hit me, man. I wasn't there. What are you? I'm sorry, look. I'm trying to work with y'all. I'm trying to work with y'all, man. You know? And, yeah, Keith Lee got the hot tag in, started cleaning house. Him and Braun were like, again, like 2 big kaijus from like Godzilla and Mothra, just boom. That's all it was, plain and simple. And decent enough match. It came to an end when Riddle wound up doing a roll-up on Sheamus after Sheamus hit Braun with a bro kick because they were arguing. And then, yeah. So, yeah. The Raw team really, honestly, the way it's being set up, it kind of looks like SmackDown may finally get the win this year. So, who knows? Next up, we got impromptu match. This came to be because MVP and Bobby Lashley were out talking about gloating on how Bobby is gonna wipe the floor with Sami Zayn and beat the living tar out of him. Then out comes Titus O'Neil, who basically winds up saying, no, listen. A couple weeks ago, I approached you guys saying, work with the Hurt Business. I can take you guys places. And instead, you guys choose to beat the crap out of me. I ain't letting that float. We're going to settle this. MVP then steps in, whoa. Now what you call a beatdown, we call a regular day in business. But, considering I got a lot of respect for you for all the charity work you do for kids, which, side note, honest to goodness truth, and I've preached this to the heavens, God knows how many times about Titus O'Neil, fucking would love to have him have it as a legit champion, any of them, you know, US, Intercontinental, Universal, World, whatever. The guy's got a killer look, the guy can talk, the guy does massive charity work with kids, you know, he's fucking out there, man. He does shit, he's out there. It's not like he's just sitting in the back eating catering. He's fucking working, dude. The guy can fucking go. And I just think that it's like I feel like they're sleeping on him. They're sleeping on an opportunity with that. Just would fucking love to have him as a world champ. But that's me. Either way, back to what I was saying. Titus then says, we're going to sell this, and I want that. Pointing at the US title. Lashley just says, you want this? Wimp puts it down. Come and get it, but I'm going to hurt you, son. And then it starts, and Titus throwing shots and slugs, throwing rounds at him left and right like crazy. His mistake, though, was throwing Lashley against the ropes, because the second he did, Lashley then had enough time to go and get his bearings, popped him with a spear, hit a few rounds on him, and then popped in the full Nelson. And then, yeah, tap out. Next up, we get women's action with my future third ex-wife, Asuka. Going against Nia Jax. And, oh so conveniently, the Raw Survivor Series team is out ringside watching. And this match, man, just like any of the other ones, man, they were throwing shots at each other. You could hear the slaps and the thuds and all that jazz. And Nia was powering right after the commercial break. It was decent enough. And dug on how Samoa Joe made the comment, oh, it looks like Asuka, she's throwing every move at her, every submission you can imagine. And then, miraculously, a short time after Joe says that, boom, that's when she puts in the Asuka lock. And just as it looks like Nia's about to tap out, Shayna Baszler comes in, hits Asuka, so it's a DQ. And then we wind up having a huge brawl with all the women for the Survivor Series team. And then Lana gets put through a table. So now this is the 8th. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8th week in a row, Lana has gone through a table, boys and girls. Bask in it. It's like South Park. You know, it's at this point it's like with South Park. Oh my God, you killed Kenny. Oh my God, you put Lana through a table, you bastards. Next up we had quite possibly the clusteriest of all clusterfucks of the night. A 7-man title match for R-Truth's 24/7 title, and which R-Truth won earlier in the night by pinning Drew Gulak in the back. It was R-Truth going against Erik from the Raiders versus Akira Tozawa versus Tucker versus Drew Gulak versus Lince Dorado versus Gran Metalik. This was a clusterfuck. If there ever was one, man. Fucking shit. I mean, everyone was champion for like a good 10 seconds until R-Truth did a pin and then ran off. And just, yeah. This is the best way I could describe this. Like I said, it was a clusterfuck championship scramble match. Next up, we got Mustafa Ali, because he now insists people put some respect on his name and pronounce the name properly. Mustafa Ali against Ricochet, and this is a decent match. It was Ricochet was leading early on. There was some decent back and forth. The only thing I can really say that was bothered me was if Mustafa Ali's gonna have Retribution ringside and he's gonna have his cronies there. Have the fucking cronies be there for a reason, man. Tease, taunt, yell, scare, intimidate. Don't just be there looking like, shaking your head and like, fucking do something, man. Scream, yell, hiss, spit, curse. Try to provoke a fight. Do something. Do something. Don't just stand there. It makes no fucking sense on that. Either way, the match came to an end when Ricochet, he knocked down Ali, went up to the top, did a dive, took out Retribution, then went back up, went to go do a Phoenix Splash, missed, and then Ali popped in a Koji Clutch and choked him out. Yeah. So now we come to main event of the night. Well, actually, before we get into that, let's all take a moment to appreciate, wait a second, Retribution won a match. Okay, we're done. Now, main event of the night, Randy Orton, Miz and Morrison against New Day and Drew McIntyre. And the one thing I fucking loved about this match the whole time was Randy just refused to tag in at all. He just sat there ringside like this. Watching, like, you can do this fucking shit. You want this title bad enough, man. You want to be fucking champ? Go fucking do it. Looking like that, and it's just like, damn. Woods wound up becoming the team punching bag after the commercial break. And then, but liked on how they were doing that, like, again, Randy just straight up refusing and having this look of, no, I'm not getting in there. I'm not fucking doing that shit. Fuck that. I'll do this to make you happy, but I'm not gonna, I'll sit here to make you happy, but I'm not fucking getting in there. Excuse me. Then Drew got the hot tag in. Once he got the hot tag in and cleaned up house, he had Morrison down. He was like yelling to Randy, come on, Randy, come on. They already said we got a title match next week. Let's give him a preview. And Randy just hopped off the apron, walked up the apron way. He was like, fine, this is a spoiler for what happens next week. Which, FYI, if you didn't pick up by what I was saying, they did announce that Randy is going to defend the title against McIntyre next week, which, honestly, cool, but at the same time, I really want to see Roman versus Randy. But back to this match, Randy wound up just standing there. McIntyre then winds up sizing winds up going, beating the shit out of Miz and Morrison, and then sizing up Morrison, pops him with a Claymore, 1, 2, 3. That was it. So yeah, that is it for the show, folks. So thank you to my executive producer, Ali Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this show. Make sure y'all check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, and all that such. Details are down below. Also, thank you to contributor of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, look for me on the... Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes if you can. Please, that helps. Also, look for me on the Twitter at Tim Vicious. Also on that Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. If you're gonna look for me on my Facebook gimmick, let me know you found me on there. Let me know you found me on there from here, on my Facebook, or on my Twitter at Tim Vicious. Anything got Creed John going. Also, folks, don't forget to follow some of these cool ass guys already on the Twitter at Some Mulligan, Kenny Killer, DSP_IV, Diabolica RA, and Sergeant Curry Pants. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.